What's up, collectors and Transformers enthusiasts? Today I'm gonna finally be taking a look at Transformers Kingdom Battle Across Time, Sideswipe, and Maximal Skywarp. As always, taking a really quick look at the packaging, we got the typical red logo on the side, Kingdom on the bottom, a gorgeous image of them fighting. You can see Sideswipe and Skywarp there, in action. On the side of the packaging, we get the whole majority of characters with golden disc on the metal. On the back, we got, the roll mode and the vehicle mode, as well as the roll mode and the beast mode, and the steps you need to transform each of them. On the other side, you can see, the continuation of the first image with Scorponok and a couple of pterodactyls there flying. And on the very top of the box, we got the Autobot logo, the Maximal logo, Transformers for Cybertron Trilogy, and Battle Across Time collection. But that's pretty much it for this, so without further ado, let's get into it. And here we have Transformers Kingdom Battle Across Time, Sideswipe, and Maximal Skywarp in hand and all the packaging, and oh my god, man, they look incredible. They look really good. But I'm gonna be really honest with you guys, I got the entire set due to the G1 characters, not the Beast Wars, because I got no knowledge on them and I'm not interested at all. You're essentially just copy and paste. The only thing different is the paint distribution as well as the face sculpt. But for Sideswipe, there are a couple of upgrades integrated into the mold to make it look a little bit more accurate to the G1 representation, as well as the Earth mode and the Lamborghini and all that good stuff. The weapons are different as well, so not that bad. But let's go ahead and jump straight into it. Starting out with Maximal Skywarp, man, this guy is amazing, man. From top to bottom, you can see that on paint distribution side of things, it's spot on. The white really looks good with the brown color, and on paint drips, no paint drips whatsoever, so that's always a plus. You never want paint drips on your figure. And for the sculpted indeed, it's kind of 50-50 for me due to the chest. The chest is kind of weird, it's not accurate at all. You can see that due to this being a copy and paste of Air Racer, you can see that he has two beast heads, one here and the other one here, so it's kind of weird. And now that I know that the Golden Disc collection is a thing and that Pterosaur has a different chest, it kind of pisses me off that this guy is just a complete copy and paste. They didn't bother to do anything whatsoever, any upgrades to the chest at all. So it's, I don't know, man, it's Hasbro we're talking about. They're kind of lazy when it comes to copy and paste or mini upgrades to figures. The arms and the legs are similar enough to be call accurate to its particular representation, as well as the feet and the wings. So overall, man, not that bad. Just this area right here is the only thing that bothers me, but other than that, this guy looks amazing. In comparison to Air Racers, you guys can see what I'm talking about and the differences that they have. You can see that they barely have any differences. It's exactly the same. The only thing is the paint distribution and the face sculpt. And speaking of the face sculpt, zooming in a little bit on the face sculpt so you can appreciate a little bit of that, you can see that not that bad at all, man. It looks amazing, really accurate. The only thing that I would say is not accurate is that this should be a little bit more darker, but other than that, it looks spot on. You can see that the hawk head on the top of the face sculpt looks amazing. The double eyes, it looks incredible, man. Overall, not that bad. One thing to mention is that due to the way that the feet are portrayed to make it look a little bit accurate to its particular representations, kind of hinders the standability of it, because this is kind of heavy and this is supposed to be like that to counter the wings themselves. But if you go ahead and put it like that and do some poses with the wings stretching backwards, it sometimes it falls like that, but that's me nitpicking for the sake of nitpicking. It still stands up pretty well if you ask me. Moving on to a quick comparison to actually see how he looks, how he scales with a couple of Maximals. Here we have Optimus Primal and Rhinox, and as you can see, not that bad on scale. I don't know if this is accurate because I have no knowledge of him, but I know that they look fantastic and you can go ahead and do some nice poses with these three. Moving into the beast mode, you can see that everything translates beautifully. Sculpted in detail and paint distribution looks off the chart, especially the white and the brownish color. I love how they translate on the wings themselves. But that's pretty much it for this guy. One thing to mention is that he loses his only feature to make it different to Air Racer. Now it's a full-on 100% a copy and paste. So there's absolutely nothing to say about this guy other than my only con on the face code. It has a black line there, you can clearly see it, and I don't know if I need to tighten the screws on the left. I'm gonna go ahead and try to do that after this video, but I don't know, man. Once you see it, you cannot unsee it. And for Air Racer, it was not like that. As you can see, let me see if the camera can focus on her. You can barely see it on Air Racer, man. It's completely hidden in comparison to this guy. I don't know if this is the white that kind of pops him a little bit more than Air Racer, but as you can see, I don't know, man. I just don't like it. And in terms of the beast mode itself, my thoughts on this guy. I really don't like this beast mode at at all, because just everything is on your face. The arms, the legs, the face, you can clearly see every single section of the robot mode, and I just don't like that at all. But other than that, that's pretty much it for this guy. For Sideswipe, it's a completely different story, man. Since I got this guy out of the box, I haven't stopped using it. I've done a lot of TikToks, a lot of B-rolls, and I'm not stopping anytime soon. This is what I wanted from the very beginning, a really accurate Sideswipe, and oh my god, this guy is just spotless. It's sculpted in detail and pen distribution from top to bottom. This guy is just a masterpiece, perfection at its finest. And you know, I don't know how to explain it, but it's the same and different at the same time to, you know, to the Siege representation. There are a couple of changes to make it look a little bit different, but it's essentially the same thing. For the weapons, they're a little bit different. This is completely new. The Siege versions didn't have this weapon. You can see that they're nicely sculpted, you know, not nice gaps here and here as well. And on the berry bag, it has a pet port here, you know, to connect with the other one if you want to create, you know, a big weapon or something like that. I'm not gonna go ahead and do that. I'm staying for G1 accuracy, and that's not accurate at all. And for this one, they changed it. The pet port, they eliminated one and left the other one, and in my opinion, they should have eliminated the other one, because I'm not gonna use that at all. That is for connecting it, you know, to the to the roll mode on some other areas, or to the vehicle mode, and I'm not gonna do that. This is the way it's supposed to be. But you know, let's go ahead and jump into the comparison so you guys can see, you know, what I'm talking about. And you can see that the chest is completely different, and this section is completely different as well. Other than that, this is the same, this is the same, this area right here is exactly the same as well, and he still has this sections right here. That's the only thing that I kind of hate about this guy, because he's supposed to be, you know, a cool guy, you know, as slick as possible. It kind of looks a little boxy on the chest, but other than that, you can see that they're the same, but at the same time they're not, because this really changes, because the Autobot logo is kind of bigger, kind of, you know, on the center. The front lights are a little bit different than this one. It has a splitter now, this one does not, and well, this section is a little bit big. Obviously on the back you can see the differences, because, you know, the sculpted in detail is completely different to the Siege mode, and this is due to the Ferrari being, you know, a little bit ERP based. But other than that, you can see that they're essentially the same thing. On the shoulder cannon, you can see what I was talking about, that, you know, they eliminated a pet port and the other one is still there. But you know, you can see that this one has the weapon and this one does not. But you know, it's up to personal preference. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. But in my opinion, it's completely different from the Siege one. Moving on to the mini comparison, or should I say big comparisons, you guys can see how he looks, how he scales with the rest of the Autobots, and as you can see, not that bad. I couldn't help myself. I wanted to bring every single Autobot that I wanted to collect from the very beginning, and as you can see, I'm only one away from completion. The only one that I need is Hound. Hopefully they release an air version of Hound, but as you can see, oh my god, they look fantastic. Really accurate to the G1 representation. These are all the Autobots that I completely fall in love as soon as I start watching the G1 series, and I'm so happy to own every single one of them. As you can see, Sideswipe and Sunstreaker look fantastic, and they scale really well next to Bumblebee, as well as the entire cast of Autobots that I got here at the moment. And Mirage also looks nicely next to Sideswipe. I'm gonna go ahead and review this guy next, but as you can see, not that bad at all. Moving on into the vehicle mode, you can see that everything translates beautifully, man. The Autobot logo looks fantastic on vehicle mode as well. You can see the skirt, the lights, you know, you can see, you know, the windows and stuff. On the sides, you can see that everything looks fantastic as well. I don't like this black theme and jig. I don't know why they decided to go ahead with black and not red, you know, to make it look a little bit more, you know, I don't know, just complete, because this kind of looks awkward. And the rims look fantastic. You can see, you know, you have some pet ports on the sides. On the very top, you can see, you know, some vents here where the engine bay is supposed to be, the tail lights. This can be another con, because you can see, you know, the legs there as well. But you know, other than that, it looks fantastic. Obviously it's missing the spoiler. You have to go ahead and you know, ask some third party to make it, so you got a better, more accurate version of the Lamborghini for Sideswipe. For a comparison with the Siege Sideswipe, so as you can see, you know, the differences that they have. You can see that on the front they look really different, as well as from the top and from the sides as well. And in my opinion, honestly, the Siege version looks really slick in comparison with the you know, the Air Rise or Kingdom version of Sideswipe, and it kind of looks better. This one looks more accurate, but this one looks more exotic and more fast, and it looks like this can smoke this version of Sideswipe. But you know, from the front you can see, you know, the differences, from the sides as well, the top as well, and on the very back you can see that, you know, the Siege version is suffering from that kind of, I don't know, leg showing or something like that. I don't know which I'm gonna call that, but you can see that it has that as well. And obviously for this side, it's the same as the opposite. So overall, not that bad for the vehicle mode, but in my opinion, this one looks way better. This one looks accurate, but this one looks way better than this one due to this section right here and the sculpted and detail that the vehicle mode of the Siege version has. Last but not least, for a comparison between Sideswipe and Sunstreaker, so you guys can see how they look, how they scale together. As you can see, not that bad at all. In my opinion, they look really good together, and as you can see, they scale exactly the same and they look fantastic. And from the sides, from the back, from the very top, you mentioned it, man, every angle they look exactly the same, just like brothers, just like the way it's supposed to be on the G1 series. So really accurate indeed. The only inaccurate thing on both sections is, you know, obviously the spoiler on Sideswipe and the spoiler on Sunstreaker. You go ahead and, you know, put a spoiler on both of them and you're 100% done on accuracy. That being said, I've been interested in the video. As always, leave your thoughts in the comments down below. I'm really interested to see and know your opinion on the subject, especially what you think about the set. You want to go ahead and pick them up, or it's a pass for you, what you think about them, which one is your favorite, Sideswipe or Skywarp. I'm really interested. Leave that on the comments. But that's pretty much it for the whole thing. I hope you enjoy. If you did, please leave a like. It will help you to algorithm the house my videos get out there in a while. So if you get anything, any value anime content, please subscribe, and I will see you on the next video. But this is pretty much it for Transformers Kingdom Battle Across Time, Sideswipe, and Maximal Skywarp.